Hello, Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Stellaris Ancient Relics in our Legacy of the Forerunners series, our new Legacy of the Forerunners series. So that is our destination for the beginning of this episode. We have a brand new system that has been discovered thanks to, I believe, the Rubricator, and we need to find out what is going on there while also still investigating our new archaeological site in the Galaman system and exploring this direction and exploring that direction. We're just doing lots of things. The negotiations for appointing a new Director General are underway. Why does it say Director General? It should be Oligarch. This continues to be a thing with Stellaris where you can set ruler titles and yet... Okay, so maybe that's the general non-gendered title, and then once they get elected, it'll be proper, but it should say Oligarch. Either with a Y for a female or an I for the male. That's the way I've set them up. Abandoned Gateway. Hello, where? Oh, it's not showing me yet. We have located what we believe could be an ancient subspace gateway near the Gindor black hole. It appears to have been part of a galaxy-wide network of similar stations which, when operational, allowed for near-instantaneous travel from one part of the galaxy to another. At some point after its initial construction, its connection to the rest of the network was severed. It now offers only one valid destination, an uncharted group of stars just beyond our galaxy that our astronomers have designated the L cluster. Even more intriguing, the gateway was built entirely by microscopic nanites of an unknown design. Although the gateway emits a faint power signature, it has been deliberately locked into some kind of maintenance loop that prevents its activation. Until we find some way of aborting this process, the L cluster will remain beyond our reach. Intriguing.
Situation log updated.
You know, I was thinking while doing one of my practice playthroughs for this that the L cluster is an unusual constant in Stellaris. It's a very specific kind of narrative device that exists. And it came out with distant stars, which is nice, but it's like, I almost hope that they introduce more variety, I guess, in the future when it comes to what can be discovered outside of the galaxy. Maybe it's the L cluster, maybe it's something else. Who knows? Because right now, the only kind of thing that is discoverable in that sort of, I don't know how to describe it, but like that kind of section of the gameplay is the L cluster. It's weird. It's just this odd constant. I hope they added that in the future. Small tangent, I know. So let's see. We can go for increased survey speed and increased science ship disengage chance, so they're more likely to get away if attacked. Or we can have more research alternatives early on. I think I would rather have more research alternatives ASAP, please. All right, let's see what our construction ships are up to. Why don't you go ahead and build a starbase in Crimdor? Because we need those minerals. We also need Voon. We do. And so this is where the L gate is. It's in the Gindor black hole, which is good. That's we've already kind of got that secured, so we have an L gate. Wouldn't it be great if the L cluster was like right out here too? That would be hilarious. Can't see where it is yet, but we'll find out eventually. It'd be kind of amazing. All right, so our science ship is on the way. Yeah, they're right there. So they're going to survey there and then come back out and survey this direction. We're going to stay on speed 2 for now. No feedback, positive or negative, that I can recall on speed 2 or speed 3, so you guys just let me know if this continues to be okay. Galaman 1 is virtually fractal. The same wild collisions of natural and obviously artificial geography visible from space are replicated on the personal scale planetside. There are mountains with perfect pyramidal bases and jagged, craggy summits. Rough tundra that suddenly becomes a perfectly smooth plain of bare rock until another weathered natural formation bisects it. The juxtaposition of irregular boulders and rocks scattered among perfect cubes the size of a microchip or a hab block. As yet, we can only imagine how this could have come to pass. Keep digging. So we found a minor artifact. Very nice. And then... No, we don't want to abort excavation. All right, election. I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything here because we don't have the influence. So we have several candidates. Let's just abstain. All right, so Oligarch. There we go. So it did actually pick the title Oligarch. Feldurm den Paloche. Is that one of our scientists? We'll have to find out. Okay, so his agenda is scientific leap. He's charismatic. We didn't really look at our first leader's traits, did we? They get randomized every time, so we should have looked. But charismatic, so edict costs are cheaper. Space miner, so mining stations are more productive and they're cheaper to build. And because of scientific leap, research speed, again, is faster. So yay, that's pretty handy. We're going to have to get that added to our territory before long. Okay, science ship has almost arrived. I'm so curious at what's going to be here. I can't even head into the system yet because we haven't been there. I wanted to open the episode with like my camera on the actual star, not in galaxy view, but I couldn't. At the coordinates for the rubricator's last known location, we have discovered a habitable planet with what we believe may be some form of settlement covering a large portion of its surface. The settlement consists of tall, pile-like towers visible all the way from space. Our archaeologists are eager to excavate it in search of the rubricator. Start digging. So this creates a kleptomaniac rats archaeological site at Gnostia 5. Okay, so the Gnostia system is where we find ourselves today. It's a class M star. There is a relic world. Excellent. Let's zoom in and have a closer look, shall we? Ooh, look at that. It looks like it was once an Ecumenopolis. Interesting background noise. All right. So let's get started. We have to survey there first, but I guess that science ship can take care of that archaeological site. See, this is what I mean. You've got to have a bunch of science ships taking care of business. So I'm going to have 2 preoccupied, and I'm tempted to build a 4th so we can keep exploring more quickly. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Why not? It's my energy income at this point can handle another leader. So let's get it done. This is ridiculous, let me tell you. Speaking of income, we're doing much better in terms of our general economy. I'm happy to say. Anomaly found. All right, so we found an anomaly. Readings suggest the presence of an unknown fleet in orbit of Jindor black hole. They do not respond to hails. Research it, please. Figure out what the heck that is. All right, so we're making a decent amount of influence as well because we have our 2 factions that are reasonably happy. So solid liquidity. If we can get a good amount of energy and keep it. So we'd have to not only build up 5,000, but then go above 5,000 in order to buy anything if we want this faction to be happier. And then what about you? You just want AI to be allowed, and that's all you want right now. So can't do anything more to get more influence there. Okay. So the ISS, what's it called? Pondoranian. Interesting. The ISS Pondoranian is going to be piloted by... Oh, hello. I think I'm going to go for the higher anomaly discovery chance. Yup. Durhamden Vegors is our new scientist, and you need to come out here. So we're going to give these orders to you, and I want you to just survey here, period, and then we'll excavate the site when you're done. So that science ship's going to have more dedicated duties for the time being.
Construction project concluded.
Good. All right, so about to have even more energy income and mineral income. We might go for that 5,000 if we can continue to build up this amount of energy. Once Athesa is done, I can't tell if... Hang on. It doesn't say anything about energy being consumed by colony ships, so there was some discussion in the comments about whether or not that still happens. So maybe my current energy situation is not going to be improved once this colony is done establishing itself. There was at least one person that commented about that, so that might be a changed mechanic that I'm still revising my thinking on based on older school Stellaris. Hologram. Investigation of the unrecognized fleet signatures in the Jindor black hole system revealed an unexpected discovery. The fleet is not, in fact, in safe orbit of the black hole, but rather crossing its event horizon. Science officer Pendermden Adazga conjectures that the fleet approached Jindor black hole's event horizon centuries ago, whereupon time dilation left their image detectable on its surface. Oh, that's really cool. Whether the fleet's actions were intentional or the result of some unhappy accident, as opposed to happy accidents? Okay, Bob Ross. We may never know. Their signatures match no known civilization on record. Curious. Wow. Well, we've just technically encountered our first alien civilization, if you want to look at it that way. All right, so we're getting those built over there. Are we able? Not just yet.
System survey concluded.
Good.
Horizons expanded.
So there is, it looks like, an anomaly to be searched here. Let's have a quick look at the Voon system. This is the ISS Timdur. I wish you could see the scientist. right, so this is the one in... Yeah, I really wish you could see which one it was. All right, so now I'm going to have to close that out, figure it out. Pendurmed in Adazga. Okay. Could have just done that faster, but, you know, I was trying to keep this screen open very stubbornly. So why don't we go ahead and select you and have you research it. So that will put that order at the front of his queue, but then he'll come right back and keep surveying, which is fine by me. All right, we've got this science ship heading out this direction, hopefully to discover plenty of anomalies. Haven't seen any hint of neighbors yet, and I'm liking the shape of our local cluster. Seems like we've got some territory locked down pretty well here. Some initial territory. Do I need a third construction ship? Probably so. Let's go ahead and get that built. Alright, so we have our corvettes ready to attack anyone they need to. We haven't, of course, researched destroyers yet, have we? No, we have not. Capacity overload and energy grid research is complete. We now have more options. Survey speed, it's probably time for this, given that we are a scientific race. Let's go for that as early as we can, within reason.
Anomaly found.
We briefly detected some unusual energy readings emanating from this planet. It might have been a glitch in our systems, or it could be a sign of something more. So this is in the Mihila system, already finding new anomalies, as we hoped for. Nice. Talk Arlith has leveled up. So this is the... Oh, Talk Arlith, that's actually... That's the old scientist. So I guess... Oh, cool. Not the old scientist. This is our old oligarch. So when the new oligarch was selected, she automatically hopped into... This is the one on the... If you recognize the portrait, this is the leader on the thumbnail of the series. So Talk Arlith is now our scientist investigating Galaman. I really like that. And she has Spark of Genius. So technically, hang on. Technically... Should I put you here? Yeah, should I put you in place of Bermed and Peloche? I think I should. I mean, it's slightly... it's going to reduce our chance of success at this archaeological site because Berm is one level lower, but it'll speed up our engineering research. I'd rather have more success at the archaeological site. That's what this series is focused on, so let's do that instead. Never mind.
Construction project concluded.
Okay, so let's go build a starbase in Nostia, and then we have an archaeological site to look through.
Initial colonization phase complete.
So I think that anomaly, yep, is being investigated. Very good. All right, so this science ship now has nothing to do because we're waiting for the archaeological site. According to a report from the crew of the ISS Timdor, their mission was a failure. Science officer Pendurmed in Adazga allegedly took manual control of the probe sent to retrieve a sample from the cluster, resulting in a collision between drone and mineral cluster that, while mild, resulted in the mineral crust cluster breaking apart completely. The crew is careful to note that the experience has left Science officer Pendurmed in Adazga somewhat shaken, and the mineral shard should still be of some value. So... I don't want him to get the stubborn trait. I was combining carefree and stubborn there. Let's go ahead and take those extra minerals. Seems like a good idea to me. Alright, so he now is carefree and he researches anomalies that much faster. Very, very good. I'll take it. So that got done and he's going to come back and finish checking out this area. Meanwhile, we have our construction ship heading to Nostia. You're in Crimdor. Why don't you go ahead and head over to Shaula, please? And then, reasonably soon, we should be able to get Voon in our territory. I still want to do a little bit more exploring before I figure out where one of our new starbases is going to go. We definitely want that trade value ASAP. While approaching Mihil 1, the ISS Ponderanian suddenly received a glancing hit by several passing mass driver rounds. The projectiles were billions of years old, and based on their trajectory, they appear to be stray rounds fired from a neighboring galaxy. After missing their intended target, they continued on their journey for untold millennia until today. The rounds we recovered are of an advanced design despite their incredible age. Incredible. So we got some engineering research from that. All right, that's how we're doing on our research projects. Planetary Capital and Hall of Judgment should be done before too long. I'm going to go ahead and jump up to speed 3 here just to get things going a little faster. We've gone through some of the initial discoveries and events that can happen in the game, and I feel like we need to keep things on pace. Aha! Encounter in Chohar. We've encountered some form of alien vessels in the Chohar system. These strange objects have been flagged as Chohar until we can learn more about them. So the way that that's flagged is that is likely an enclave. That's the way it's set up. So, hang on, we need to go to contacts. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Research. Can't wait till we actually get to Earth. That's going to be awesome. All right, so we have these two projects. Well, we have one project going and another one about to start. Bakrid and Sukar is going to be a good scientist, I think, to have on this particular archaeological site. Speaking of sites, grand design. The discovery of the first crashed flying machine set us on the right path and led to the discovery of a multitude of similar crash sites littering the surface of the planet. Without doubt, these strange dead machines have something to do with the mysterious geometrical shapes that dot this world, but the extent of the damage caused by crash landings from high altitude will make analysis difficult. Keep digging. I'm curious to see how these things improve once we have higher level scientists later in the game. That's going to be an interesting turn of events, for sure. All right, so we're getting close
project concluded.
to being able to incorporate Voon. We definitely want to go ahead and get the mining stations going, and we want that excavation started as well. All right, Merida seems to have some unemployment, and it's very obvious why. We need some extra food production, so let's go ahead and get a farm going on Merida. Also, let's go ahead and close that off.
Special project concluded.
Okay, so oh nice, the curator order is in Chohar. I'm really liking the way this start is going. Influence gained 42, very handy. That's going to help us establish more systems. Greetings, Star Travelers. We are the curators. Our ancient order was established eons ago by the various galactic powers in ascendancy at the time. We were dedicated towards the preservation of all knowledge in an effort to safeguard the galaxy from descending into yet another dark age of mass extinctions and barbarism. We failed. Few of us remain today, but we are no less committed to our sacred mission than our predecessors were. We are willing to share some of our knowledge with you for a price well met. So, let's talk to our good buddies, the Curator Order. Can you aid us in our research? We don't quite have enough, but we will soon. 1,000 to get that boost. All right, excellent. Well, that's
System survey concluded.
Definitely a win for us. Here's the Curator station.
System survey concluded.
Yeah, it's definitely going to make good thumbnail material. Whenever you see me deactivate the interface, that's what's going through my mind. What can I take a picture of right now? Okay, let's go ahead and get Voon first. The First League. Hey, we've recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on 18717. If what we have learned from these artifacts is correct, this civilization was some sort of confederation that consisted of many different alien races. They called themselves the First League and appear to have coexisted in relative peace some 2 million years ago. Though the Zarak system lies in the region of space that seems to have made up the core of their territory, a partial map found among the artifacts indicates that this First League may have covered a significant portion of our galaxy before its eventual collapse. Okay, cool. I'm happy we found a precursor, but it's not one of the new precursors. So a little bit of give and take. If you remember from episode 1 when I was talking about that, I went through very quickly, a little bit more quickly than I usually do, the features of the story pack and the patch. They did add some new precursors, and this is not one of them. This is one of the old precursors, but we do get a minor artifact from it, which is nice. So let's go over to our traditions and relics. Celebrate diversity requires 2 of them. So this is more likely to make us xenophiles. Oh, cool. You can spend 50 of them to get an Elgate insight. Good to know. All right, so we definitely need to use you.
Anomaly found.
Because we got that influence from encountering the curators. Optical sensors isolate a cluster of shapes on the barren surface of Zarak 2 that could be buildings. Let's leave that be for now. It's going to take you way too long. Way, way, way too long. Just inappropriately long. All right, so we should see this go away and our food income jump in 10 days.
Construction project concluded.
Boom. All right, much better. Boom. That makes me happy. All right, mining station. All right. Finally, we've got that cluster fully
Anomaly found.
set up. There are signs of activity by an ancient precursor civilization on this inhospitable rock. Leave be for now. That's good. So we've already found another precursor site and finding plenty more anomalies. All right, so we do have some trade value here. Looking like either Galaman or Satatoni could be a nice place to have that station.
Construction project
We might
concluded.
eventually be able to terraform Galaman 4A as
Anomaly
well.
found.
Okay, that sounds like the end of this archaeological site, or possibly just a very, very good event, because that sound effect sounded impressive. Our science officer has found an anomaly. It will require extensive probing, but could garner a substantial find. Research. What do we have? Scheduled for demolition after recovering one of the more intact crashed wrecks and reverse engineering it. The purpose of this orbital network became clear. By the way, quick tangent. I have to say, I'm loving, you guys let me know what you think too of this, but I'm loving the additional narrative content of this new system. I feel like the potential, especially modding potential, for these things to really add narrative value. Moments like this, where you just kind of soak in the story of what's happening in the discovery of the galaxy as you play Stellaris. I mean, the possibilities just seem limitless, so it's really cool. The purpose of this orbital network became clear. The machines were automated cutting beams placed around Galaman 1. Their function was to completely dismantle the planet, carving it up piece by piece over a span of centuries. Not long after the endeavor began, perhaps a few decades based on projections, something interrupted the procedure. The automated cutters lost power and their orbit decayed, until one by one they smashed themselves to bits on the planet's surface. Theories abound as to why anyone would do this. Whether it was mining on a hitherto unimagined scale, some obscure doomsday cult out to break and remake the world, a quirk of unknowable alien psychology, or just code that went awry. After the original creators vanished, none can say. Intriguing. So we got some engineering research for that. And we are still
Research concluded.
researching it. So, planetary capital and Hall of Judgment options will eventually be available to me. I do need to start looking into tile blockers. Naval capacity, I feel like it might be a good idea to have that raised. Also, fleet command limit could be a good idea. Yeah, let's go for naval capacity first. All right, 2 months until that's done. That boost was very, very helpful for that research project. Okay, so are you done in Galaman? Oh, it's been fully excavated. Nice. All right, so with that, I can't auto-explore just yet. What are your orders? You're almost done. So guess what? We're going to send you out this direction. Okay, there's that. And then you, when you're done, will go out that away. Please and thanks. Okay, let's go ahead and get that mining station added to Seishumi. I'm not sure how that one didn't get added already.
Research
We'll jump
concluded.
on it. Planet build speed plus 25%. Good. Minerals from jobs. I feel like we're doing okay on minerals for now. I would rather have... I think afterburners might be a good idea, or perhaps just better Corvette build speed in case we get into a fight early on. We haven't yet encountered any enemies, but you never know. Our very first
System
alien
survey
encounter
concluded.
might not be as pacifist as we are. Let's put it that way. The Rubricator. Toppled over buildings, crashed spaceships, lumps of melted junk, and trinkets burned to a crisp indicate that the former inhabitants of Nostia 5 fled their homes in the midst of a losing battle against a superior foe. The presence of bodies bearing foreign military insignia suggests it may have been infighting between clans of rats native to different homeworlds. Their excavation efforts were impeded by their unwillingness to abandon their treasured trinkets, and many lost their lives scrabbling to save completely mundane items. One artifact, however, seems to have held a special place in their society, the Rubricator. It appears that they fought long and hard to save it, but ultimately had to leave it behind. We have 6 minor artifacts from that. Very nice. So, having that more skilled scientist in charge of that project is currently paying off. The ISS Ponderanian's crew is reporting that they found something spectacular on Zarak 3A. On the surface lies traces of an explorative expedition of another civilization. Left behind are some well-preserved documents and artifacts. So we're definitely starting to get hints of other alien life. The proposed action by Chief Science Officer Durham Din Vagors is to send the text findings to our homeworld for translation. There is also the possibility to sell them off to a private investor. So I'd rather translate the explorer's
Situation
texts.
log updated.
Let's go ahead and give that order. Now we have to find 6 First League artifacts. And we need this scientist to level up a bit more before we send them looking into some of that
System
stuff. This
survey
one, though,
concluded.
yeah, you'll have stuff to do for sure. We're going to have you do that after you're done with the archaeological site. I just queued that order up perfectly. So Now we know that works. Hey, Athesa has a housing issue and an employment issue. So, probably build a city district to start, and then resources-wise, yeah, we're going to need more consumer goods soon. Population is growing quickly. Tell you what, let's go ahead and get a second district built there as well. I know it's jumping the gun a little bit. I'm kind of being like I was at the very beginning of Roma Galactica 2, I know. But I just want to make sure that as that population grows naturally, our energy credits situation stays stable. Because again, we will benefit greatly from having 5,000 plus energy. That's the direction that I want to take things in. Hey, Continental World, 13 slot. So we're going to have a new colony there.
Concluded.
Also, this relic world is habitable, apparently. So, all right, we need to finish that archaeological site, but I would love to colonize this world. Can we colonize it while it's happening? Let's try it. I mean, what could go wrong? Aside from everything blowing up my face. I kind of liked Nostia Prime for that world since it was the site of this particular place, but let's go with Campira. By the way, one of the really cool features they've added in this patch, if you want to rename, you can still use the random name generator. Isn't that awesome? If you didn't know about that, there you go.
Research concluded.
Okay, survey speed plus 25% and automatic exploration has finally become available. Good. Ooh, speaking of extra energy, do I want the hyperdrive or do I want... Yeah, we're gonna go with energy credits from technicians because we have so much to gain from getting above 5,000 energy and also going through our first couple of edicts. Speaking of that... Oh yeah, I forgot they're so much cheaper. Holy crap. Yeah, let's go ahead and do... I do want to go ahead and spend some of this so we can get the pop growth speed bonus. Okay, we're about 27 minutes into the episode. I'm going to stop this one here so I can get it uploaded for today. And then in the next one, I think our task is pretty obvious. We finally have science ships that are getting out more quickly and exploring some of this area. Lots happened this episode. We got through most of that all of that archaeological site. We're getting through some of the Nostia system, and it turned out to be a pretty good system as well in terms of its resources. And of course, we had the discovery of the First League, so we're going to have to find more of their artifacts, and hopefully one in Zarak in that particular spot right there once this particular expedition is done. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.